And we now continue our footage of all this rain we're having, and a bridge inside Infield Greens community collapsed overnight. Here's Wes on the scene again.
Thanks a lot, Jerome. And now we're west. And as you can see, the sun is out. You know, out west is a lot better. We're in Infield Green, and we had got a lot of calls earlier today about a bridge that has collapsed. Well, our crew found it. Look at this. Mother Nature is something else, isn't she? Now, the residents in Infield Green that lives east of this area are trapped. They cannot get out. I was just talking to Deputy Commissioner Cintron from Public Works, and they are aware of the situation, but no one from Public Works is here right now, I could tell you that. Look at this. As the cameraman, be careful, cameraman, I don't want you to cave in. Look at this. Unbelievable what the force of nature can do. Now, Infield Green does have a community, like a citizenship group, as I understand, a very strong one, so that I'm sure they're going to try to address this. But I want to remind you, this is private property, Infield Green. But look at this. This is really something. The forces of nature. Now, we do have some power lines, believe it or not, that are down that the cameraman and I saw actually inside of Infield Green. But we want to remind you, we saw a lot of people on the roads today that just should not be there, folks. A lot of people are off today. The students, the kids are not going to school. A lot of people just want to see what's going on. Folks, you are hindering emergency efforts is what you're doing. A lot of roadblocks are out there. The VIPD are trying to alleviate traffic because there's a lot of flooding going on. You're watching a lot of footage of that right now. All I could say is please stay dry. This is going to go on at least for another 24 hours as this system gets out of our area. So tomorrow's Thursday. We'll try to assess the damage to our schools, get word from the Department of Education and also the governor if there is school tomorrow. News Channel 8 is all over this one. But for now, we are inside of Infield Green. Bridge has collapsed. Keep dry. Watch yourselves. Mother Nature's something else. I'm Wes Small for News Channel 8.
Thanks, Wes. Well, just as our news crew was leaving, some neighbors came to the bridge to air their concerns. Let's take a look.
All right, we are back with some residents from Infield Green. I have Crystal. Now, Crystal, first of all, you believe that Public Works should be here to help this situation out, even though this is private property.
I do, and I know that they can't do anything right now in the rain, but I do believe it needs to be addressed by Public Works because it is a public runoff from the mountains. It's been here for years. You can see down in the bottom, it looks like there was, and from what my understanding is from the one of the other board members, Ryan, that there was a galvanized pipe that the road was built atop where the water ran through the galvanized, and the galvanized is now collapsed, and that's why our road is collapsed.
All right, as far as the residents that live east of here, how are they getting back to work and school and everything? There's another way out.
There's a gate up there, but unfortunately back here for us, after this bridge, we're impassable. We cannot go over the bridge. There is another access road in the back that Public Works is currently working on, but it could take days for them to get enough backfill in to even make it passable, if it's passable then.
Well, I was just talking to Deputy Chief Cintron, but my concern is how come no one's here now?
I'd suggest you call them and find out what their problem is and why they're not here addressing it, because it's getting worse. Just from last night, you can see the barricades that are in here. Those were about halfway in the middle of this opening, and it's gradually washing out. Even this morning, it's eroded further and further because I was out here early this morning, and that piece was still attached here. It's no longer. So with each heavy rain, the water has risen in the river that you see coming below, and with rain, it's going to get worse.
And guess what? It's starting to come down
again. That's right, and it's projected for us to have heavy rains through the evening.
Infield Green. What's next? We got a missing diver, a collapsed bridge here. People don't have power in some areas. Mother Nature, she is something else. All right. Well, Jerome, we hope you're nice and dry in the studio. I'm not. Crystal, loan me your hat. We're at Infield Green. They're grinning and bearing it, but this is a potentially deadly situation. If these barriers should get misplaced and you should be coming through here, I got to tell you, you're going to take one heck of a drop.
Not only that, no emergency vehicles can get to us right now. If we had a fire or anybody injured, hurt, heart attack, any of that, there's no way for any emergency personnel to get back here with a vehicle. They would have to hike in to get to us.
All right, sweetheart. You better cover up, and I got to get out of here. I don't have any sick days left. I'm Wes Small at Infield Green.
Thanks, Wes. And when we come back from this break, we'll take a look at your Caribbean report for tonight. And let's take a look at your Caribbean report for tonight. Guyana's main opposition, People's National Congress, PNC, says it will work to reverse voter apathy as part of its campaign for the 2011 general election. Voters' register has been reduced by some 45,000, with the total number of eligible voters put at 446,681 by the General Guyana Election Commission. Former high-ranking Army officer David Granger, who's seeking to become the PNC's presidential candidate, says he's worried about voter apathy. "We don't have any interest in small token outturn of elections," he told reporters. Mr. Granger says people who feel that they have a stake in the country could be motivated to participate fully in the electoral process to make it more meaningful. And citizens in western Belize have been warned by the country's authorities about mercury poisoning from fish taken from a river in the area. The health advisory warns against consumption of excessive amounts of bay snook fish from the McCall River. Authorities cite a June 2010 analysis that shows that the mercury present in the fish there is 3 times the recommended limit for human consumption. And hip-hop singer Wyclef Jean has accepted an appointment as a visiting fellow at the Rhode Island's Brown University. The university says Jean will be a visiting fellow at the Department of African Studies for the 2010-2011 academic year. The Ivy League school says the Haitian Grammy Award winner will be eligible in activities related to its Haitian initiative. He'll be expected to be involved in lectures, facility conversations, and classes. According to the university officials, the 37-year-old Jean made his first visit to the campus on Monday and attended 2 inaugural lectures. And finally, in Cuba, U.S. jazz trumpeter Wynton Marsalis and his Jazz at Lincoln Center Orchestra will play concerts in Cuba this week. The jazz musician says the Cuban concerts are part of a simple goal to bring people together through music. The New York-based Jazz Orchestra is set to play concerts from Tuesday through Saturday, as well as give classes to young Cuban musicians. Marsalis's tour is the last in a growing series of cultural exchanges between the United States and Cuba, 2 neighbors groping for a common ground after 5 decades of hostility.